Welcome to the Ugandan capital, Kampala, for highlights of the 2017 World Cross Country Championships. Some of the best athletes in the world gather for one of athletics' great traditional events at the climax of the cross-country season. This year, the championships return to the spiritual home of distance running, East Africa. Uganda's East African neighbours, Kenya and Ethiopia, are renowned for producing world-class distance runners, and when it comes to cross-country, they are almost untouchable.
Ngugi regains the world title. And Tergat comes away, an imposing figure, dominant, and that is an all-time record. Wami of Ethiopia takes the gold.
These two nations are utterly dominant. Since 1973, they've won more than half of all available medals between them. That's 559 if you count them.
Kenenisa Bekele wins a record-breaking 6 World Cross Country titles. Development, one of the greatest distance runners that women's athletics has ever seen.
So can the Ugandans rise to the occasion on their home turf, or will we see yet more titles for Ethiopia and Kenya today?
The world cross-country champion, it's gold for Kenya.
Well, here at the Kololo Independence Grounds, we've got 5 races with both individual and team medals up for grabs. The under-20 women and men run the shorter distances of 6 and 8 kilometres respectively, and the senior races... So the women's junior race, under-20s, gets underway. In Kampala, this course, whoa, false start. He's trying to stop them. Now, athletes are doing what they always should do, Paula, is keep going until somebody literally jumps in front of you. That official looked as though he was trying to jump in front of them and then changed his mind. Anyway, we think we are underway here, and a few anxious glances behind us. Is everybody following? Well, yes, they are. And inevitably, Kenya and Ethiopia well to the fore in the early stages. But I'm glad to say there's a British contingent in this race as well.
Yeah, it was a messy start, wasn't it? They didn't, equally as in the relay race, which went off earlier, they didn't hold them very long. They were called to the start, almost immediately the gun went. I think some were caught a little bit unawares. Was there a recall gun? I didn't hear a recall gun, but they definitely ran out onto the course as if to try and stop them. And for the under-20 women there, for many of them, it's their first experience of the World Cross Country, so they don't have experience of anything like this happening before, and they will have just carried on running their race and hoping that if nobody runs out in front of you, nobody tells you you have to go back, you just keep running. And once you get past a certain point in the race, they're never going to make you restart it.
Well, the athletes further back, you see the British contingent going through, 1 or 2 already looking a little bit warm. It's about 25, 26 degrees, so, you know, oh gosh, how would you describe that? A warm summer's day in the UK, but thankfully without the humidity, which could make that feel a lot worse. They're just about a quarter of a way around the second lap, and just some gaps starting to appear now. Ethiopia only had 4 in that lead group. Now it looks as though they've only got 3, but a couple of the Kenyans just starting to struggle a little bit as well. Chemutai still there for Uganda in 4th place at the moment, so the race starting to get underway. A little bit of pressure being applied at the front by Loburn. The Kenyan challenge is down to 2, or it seems as though Chespol certainly was their favourite for them coming into this, but their teammate Loburn doing a good job at the moment. Loburn was only 6th at the Kenyan trials, so she's having a very good run here. Well, as these 3 seem to have the medals between them and head into the last lap, I apologise for not being able to give you more updates on the British contingent. The transponder system, which goes and gives us the readout of where people are, it doesn't appear to be working. You see those mats that the athletes are running across, and I think perhaps it's because the previous mixed relay race hadn't quite finished before this race got underway, so that may explain why. Now, can Chespol, the pre-race Kenyan favourite to take on the defending champion, can she find something with a steeplechasing background that'll help her over the cross-country here? But look how comfortable she looks, Paula, just gliding, and away she goes. She's off, she's not hanging around.
She's not even waiting. She just felt so good. She's just decided to push right on with this race. Maybe that's why she was looking at her watch so much, because she couldn't believe that they weren't running quicker out there on this course. And certainly the fact that we're not getting any details on the laps here maybe indicates what they were trying to recall them for at the start, because there didn't seem a lot wrong with that start. So maybe they realised that they didn't have that previous race finished, so they shouldn't have started this race now. But there's not going to be any question here about the winners. Kide just glides down that hill, and she negotiates the uphills with even more ease, and she looks a lot more comfortable now that she's actually opened up the pace a little bit, and is stretching away with every stride from the two Kenyan athletes behind her.
So Gidai of Ethiopia comes home in magnificent style to retain the title that she won 2 years ago in China. Faith Kipyegon did it in 2011 and 2013, and look what she went on to become. She's the Olympic 1500 meter champion. I wonder what weight Gidai is. Indeed, her teammate has had a storming finish. Faisa has come through to get past the tiring Kenyans. So it's not a 1-2-3 for Ethiopia. It looked as though at one point it might have been a 1-2-3 for Kenya, but it's silver for Ethiopia. And a very tired Celestine Chespol comes through for the bronze medal for Kenya, and they'll be hoping, well, crossing their fingers, that third, fourth, fifth. We've got three Kenyans in now, we've got three Ethiopians. It will all be, oh, has she crossed the line? I think she's crossed the line. It's going to be all about the next counter. And it may well be, we'll have to wait for officially, with Kenya have got four in now, but only 2 places ahead of Ethiopia. But sadly, we still don't have a full result from that women's race. As I said, it was, I suspect those times that we were given may have ended up as hand times. This is Chemutai for Uganda. Chemutai is certainly one of the pre-race favourites in Uganda. If they've got any real chances of individual gold, it may well come in this race. That man there, Kimunyan, might be the one to challenge for Kenya. Very much a favourite from their point of view. Great Britain represented in this race. We've got Scott Beattie from Morpeth, Benjamin Davis from Bedford, Hugo Milner from Derby, Luke Pryor from the Wells City Club, Jonathan Shields from Sheffield, and Sam Stevens from Leicester, competing for Great Britain in this under-20 event. Here we go. So the under-20 men get underway. 106 competitors from 28 different countries. 4 laps of this 2-kilometre loop, just a little bit less than 8 kilometres. The last lap just under 2 kilometres. So the fast racing start as normal. Ethiopia trying to get up there with the Kenyans. It may well be the contender from Uganda, Chemutai, who may well be the one who just upsets the apple cart in terms of the dominance of Ethiopia and Kenya. Great Britain will be hoping that their junior contingent, under 20 men, they're all in a bit of a group there just going through the picture, can have a good experience here. But as ever, it's a fast start, and they twist and turn down to the first non-flat section, shall I call it, where they just drop down a little bit, little decline, and then back up again. And it'll just take them probably half a kilometre or so to settle down.
Yeah, there's 1 or 2 in there who might have gone off a little bit too fast there. Always a temptation in your first world cross country. You want to get yourself in a good position, so you need to start quickly enough to get yourself that good position without putting yourself too much into heavy-legged lactic acid territory in the first 1,000 metres. And I think we saw at least one athlete there committing that sin, if you like, of just going off far too fast, and then that's race over.
So it'll take them a little while to settle down, and thankfully we are back on board with technology, so you'll be able to see the names scrolling through there. The British team, interestingly, Jonathan Shields, who won the Intercounties Cross-Country Championship, very much the trial. His mum Jane great exponent in cross country and on the track as well. A few years back in the 80s. I'm sure you may well be here watching. Actually, for all mums today, happy Mother's Day to you all, including the young lady sitting next to me.
Berihuu is attacking strongly now, but Kiplimo, the way he attacks those hills each time, I mean, they have to have had the Ugandan team at least out training on this course, practicing on this course. So you have to expect that he really has studied this and knows very well where his strengths and weaknesses lie on this course. Him again looking at his watch as he goes past his point there. I have no idea why, unless they're all just getting messages on their watch as they go through there. But I would think they would not have time to study that at this point, and he certainly has the support of the entire crowd almost here today behind, and they would dearly love to see a Ugandan athlete be able to win this, but this race is far from won at this stage. He has a lot of company around him and a lot of strong company. Berihuu looking controlled. He looks as though he's working hard, but he's still comfortable. Another little look across to gauge which of the two is working harder at this point. The two Kenyan athletes now together. Karui is starting to look more heavy-legged, and that gap now is starting to open up.
Yeah, but I think Kimunyan, just seen going past Karui. Tried to go past Karui just while you were talking, and Karui made another effort to hold him off, which didn't help Kimunyan. And he is the one who, to me, is, if anything happens to these two here, is going to have a chance. But look at Kiplimo, has decided, OK, one lap to go. The crowd are obviously helping him here, and Kimunyan's recognising the challenge. Look at the support he's getting. Kiplimo opening up a lead already of about 10 metres ahead of the chasing Kimunyan now, has moved into second place. So it's Uganda in the shape of this young man, Jacob Kiplimo. Can he give the home team and the home crowd something to cheer? Certainly has started off quickly on this last lap, but there's still about 1,600 metres, about a mile of running left. Here, Jacob Kiplimo of Uganda, and it seems as though half the crowd have managed to get into the infield, but that doesn't matter. All of his teammates, in fact lots of other teams, I think, cheering this man on, because it means that the atmosphere has been ratcheted up. Look at the scenes there, absolutely superb. Kampala have got themselves a hero here, Jacob Kiplimo, with plenty of company, but none of them, thankfully for him, are in the race. None of them are going to stop him from taking this title. And although the gap is closing all of the time, he's just got one more turn. He looks pretty tired, and it's a quick chase on, but he's only got about 150 metres to go, and that gap is closing all the time. He just needs to be aware of that. He needs to pick up a little bit here. We're all getting a little bit anxious for him. The chase really on, but surely Kiplimo has got enough left here as he comes into the home straight. Here he comes. What a victory it's going to be for him. A real chase from Welalain from Ethiopia, who's come storming through for the silver, but no doubt about our winner. What a popular win here. Kiplimo takes the gold medal in the under-20 race. Held off a late challenge from the Ethiopian Welalain. And everybody, I'm pretty sure, it doesn't matter which country you're from spectating, enjoyed a home win there. Confirmation of the result for the junior race. A fantastic first ever gold medal at the World Cross Country Championships for Jacob Kiplimo and his country, Uganda. Some update on the British athletes. Sam Stevens, 43rd. Good win from him. Scott Beattie, 47th. Jonathan Shields, 60th position. Hugo Milnes has come across in 69th place. Luke Pryor, 80th. Ben Davis, 87th.